Of all South Africa's great success stories, Trevor Noah, Charlize Theron, fabulous wine, the Springboks, there are a few that have had quite such a cultural impact as Nando's. I remember Rory McIlroy happily tweeting, "Off to grab some Nando's." It's a wonderful South African success story. Except it isn't, well, not entirely, because the heartbeat of Nando's isn't actually in South Africa. It's here in southern Mozambique, because the magic that goes into giving the chicken its famous flavour comes from this particular place. It's a farm in southern Mozambique, and that is how these turn in to what you order every week back home. The word mashaba means farm, but it also speaks to that little patch of land most people in Mozambique have where they can cultivate their own crops, their own food for their own domestic consumption. It's that sense of community that speaks to the success of this particular project, because not only are the mosquito nets given out, not only are boreholes being dug, but there are also an increasing number of local farmers who are being outsourced, as Elise pointed out, to be part of this grander project. When it started 2.5 years ago, $5,000 was being paid out as subsidies to those local farmers. And that number is up to $100,000, and I suspect it's only going to grow. What's going to happen if I bite? Hospital.
Yeah, it's very hot.
So I've spent some time in the field. I've actually been quite industrious. I've managed to pick some chilies. I'll tell you what, the amount of effort that goes into getting this done, I'm very admiring of the mostly women who do all of this work and produce what eventually becomes piri piri sauce. And that's exactly what this stuff is going to become, because not only have I picked the chilies, but today I am becoming a world-class Portuguese chef. And in order to do that, I've managed to find a man who I think might just be Pete Goffwood's long-lost little brother. He is Mozambique's biggest celebrity chef. It cost us a fortune to get him here, but I'm very glad we did. Please meet a gentleman by the name of Selo. Hello, Selo.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for joining us.
Lovely. You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Have you ever met Pete Goffwood?
No, I haven't, but I've seen him on television a few times, you know, on some of the big shows, you know, where he judges. Yeah, and he's a very intriguing man.
He is indeed. He's also a great chef, and so are you, because I've only heard amazing things about you. And in fact, I've tried some of your food. I did last night. I got taken out to dinner in a garage somewhere in Maputo, where Selo gave us a feast. I'm going to draw on some of that culinary talent, because I need you to help me with something. But before I do that, how do you get to be in Maputo? What's the story of Chef Selo?
Well, I was born in Mozambique, up in Beira, then went to South Africa, as you can notice by the accent, and I came back here 20 years ago, and as a logistics manager for a transport company, and then a few years later I broke away from that and I opened a little restaurant, then I went into catering.
It's clearly been a great success. It's clearly something you enjoy and have a lot of fun doing. How are you, though, as a teacher? Do you think you might be able to turn me on very short notice into a Portuguese chef?
Oh yes, knowing your love for food and for wine, I don't think it's going to be difficult.
All right, so what I want to do, I've picked some chilies. I've gone out and got these this morning, and they do look fabulous, if slightly
Nice
dangerous.
and fresh, yeah.
Well, in fact, I think the reason I'm sweating so much is not the humidity or the heat here in Mozambique. It's the fact that these chilies have got a fair heat to them. I want to turn these into a sauce. So can I make a fairly simple piri piri sauce with you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So the blender has taken centre stage. Last chance to make sure I've got it right, Chef. Everything in there that needs to be?
100%.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh.
It definitely needs a little bit more to it, but I'll let you have a taste and see A, how I've done, and B, what you think I need to add, just to give it a bit more depth. I think it needs to just be built out a little bit more.
Okay. Wow, man, you've done real well, man.
Yeah?
But it does need something. Probably maybe a little bit more salt, eh?
I think a little bit more salt.
Yeah.
And possibly another onion just to give it a little bit more bulk.
Absolutely.
Round 2. I think that's definitely, I'm picking up the herbs now, that coriander's coming through. It's still a lovely bite, but it's not threatening to send me to intensive care.
It's absolutely lovely. Very, very tasty. This recipe we mustn't share with anyone, eh? Please don't.
It's top secret. That looks phenomenal. Chef, you're a rock star. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's been so much fun doing this, exploring exactly where my favourite chicken actually comes from, and the chicken we eat at the Dan Nicholl Show every week comes from. And now I've made my very own version. Don't tell the guys at Nando's. I think this might be better. Cheers.